Oh, my name is David. This is Ross. We're from Castart Studios, and we put together a small selection of videos just talking about how to care and maintain our product and how to fix it up if it's broken or touch up kind of thing. So today we're going to talk about touching up colors of our pieces. Now, this is a little touch-up kit. This comes with all the orders to the retailers. They're also available from us for a nominal fee. And inside here you'll find some sponges and some touch-up colors. There's this.
Generally we have 3 different types of colors in here. We've got paints and a water-based oxide. So oxide is kind of like a colored powder. So there's going to be, if you have a Western Slate piece, or Western Slate on your order, you're going to find a little vial with water and oxide in there. The oxide's black, just kind of to help darken the pieces. I think the most important thing about applying our paints is the technique that you use. It's not with a paintbrush, it's with a sponge. Sponges work so much better for us in like a dabbing motion. So we'll just go ahead and show you how to do that. So a good tool to use is a coffee stir stick. We'll start with the ancient stone. So if you look at the colors, there's 2 different kinds of colors which we feel match the variegation of the ancient stone. It's a good idea to have just a little piece of cardboard that you can use as an easel. So we'll just take a little bit of paint out of each vial and just place it onto the cardboard. So what we see, where's our little scrape? We have the scrape that we're going to try and cover over. This is very, very, very simple. What we're going to do is just wipe some of the paint onto the sponge. You can see it here. I like to have both the colors side by side and then kind of blending in the middle. So you can see that. If you look at the piece, you'll see that this particular one, they all vary, but this particular one is quite light. It's got a lot of yellow in it. So what I'm going to do is actually press my finger down harder on the yellow side, and as we press onto it, just to get the paint to go onto the scrape that we have there. So that's mostly yellow now, which I feel is like the undertone of it. And now if I just dab on the darker color, just to blend it to the rest of it, if you just wipe it a little bit, that's what we're going to call good. So from a distance, you're not going to be able to see that at all. So there's your ancient stone. So now we'll move on to the York stone. York stone is actually, believe it or not, very, very similar to the ancient stone. The colors underneath it are a couple of the same acid stains. So what I'll do with this one is it's very, very dark. I'm going to load up the opposite to this one. I'm going to put the dark color on there first, just to get rid of any of the gray. So that's dabbed until we have a full coverage. Even though it's brown, it's still almost gone. And in the touch-up kit, there's also a green paint. Now the York stone, it's not really green, but it has a green hue to it. So if I use a very, very small amount of the green, we should be able to just kind of blend it, get that scrape to disappear. So we're just going to do a little tap. Dabbing with that. And there is the York stone touch-up. Quite often you have to, it's a good idea to kind of go a little bit farther than the scrape and make the surrounding area look like the scrape rather than trying to blend the scrape hole perfectly. So that would be the York stone touch-up. The Western Slate is a little bit different because now we're dealing with that watery oxide, what we call it. Once again, I'm going to look for the undertone of this, which is quite light. There's a lot of blue and light in here. So because we have that brown epoxy putty that we filled those gaps with, what I'm going to do is make the brown putty, get it to be the undertone of this, and then try and blend it all. This white paint is actually, it's called a Naples yellow. It kind of has a little bit of kind of like a creamy, even almost bluey tint to it. So that touch up on the corner, I'm not going to do very much with that. While this is still, before it goes completely dry, now it's a good time to use this black paint, or black water. Just dab this on here. So, now it's looking a little bit messy. I'm going to let this dry for a couple of seconds, and then put some of that white back over the top of it. You can see, I mean, it's looking pretty good, but it can be better. Like I talked about with this one, I'm going to actually go a little bit farther than the repair itself, just to help kind of blend everything around. Okay, so once that dries, we'll put a little bit of white over the top of it, and it should be good. So you can see in here there's also earth tones. There's a nice little yellow blotch here, so if I kind of duplicate that over here, it'll really take the contrast, it'll take the contrast out of this and help blend it all. So it's just going to be a tiny little bit. There's some yellowy brown here and some darker there. So if I just do a tiny little bit like that, just to take away, you don't want it to look like paint. So just kind of blend it all together. So there we go. There's the Western Slate, York Stone, and Ancient Stone.
Great.
That's about it.
Well, I think that's it. We're finishing the pieces. So yeah, that's the end of this video, and watch for more in the series of how to maintain the Cast Out Studios product line.
See ya.